Royal fans were completely stunned when a growing wave of criticism began following Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's latest public moves. For years, the couple has worked to reshape their image after stepping away from royal duties, building a brand centered around independence, personal storytelling, and life beyond the palace. But according to many royal watchers, something unexpected may be happening. The very strategy designed to strengthen their public image could now be creating new challenges. And what critics, supporters, and royal experts are saying has sparked one of the biggest debates surrounding Harry and Meghan in recent years. Because while the couple remains among the most talked about figures in the world, many people are starting to ask a difficult question. Has their public relations strategy begun working against them? And the answer may be far more complicated than anyone expected. For a long time, Harry and Meghan seemed almost impossible to ignore. Whether they were appearing in major interviews, launching new projects, signing media deals, or speaking at public events, they consistently dominated headlines around the world. Every move generated attention. Every statement created discussion. Every appearance sparked debate. From a visibility standpoint, it appeared incredibly successful. After all, staying relevant in today's media landscape is no easy task. Yet some royal experts believe there is a major difference between attention and approval. And that's where the conversation becomes far more interesting. Because despite generating enormous publicity, recent public reactions have become increasingly mixed. Some fans continue supporting Harry and Meghan passionately. Others believe the couple may be facing a growing problem with public perception. And social media reactions reveal just how divided audiences have become. But this is where things became even more complicated. When Harry and Meghan first stepped back from royal duties, many people viewed them through a lens of sympathy. The couple spoke openly about media pressure, mental health struggles, and difficulties within royal life. Millions of viewers connected with their story. The Oprah interview became a global event. Their Netflix documentary generated huge interest. Harry's memoir Spared dominated headlines for months. At the time, many believed they had successfully taken control of their narrative. For perhaps the first time, they were speaking directly to the public without palace filters. And that strategy appeared incredibly powerful. But over time, something started changing. Critics began questioning whether the couple had become too closely associated with royal grievances. Instead of moving beyond the royal family, some observers felt they kept returning to the same conflicts, again and again, and again. That perception created an entirely new challenge. Because while audiences initially seemed fascinated by previously hidden royal tensions, many commentators now believe some viewers are experiencing what they call royal drama fatigue. Simply put, people may be growing tired of hearing the same story, and that wasn't even the biggest surprise. What really caught observers off guard was the reaction from some former supporters. Several commentators noted that even individuals who once defended Harry and Meghan enthusiastically have started expressing frustration, not necessarily because they disagree with the couple, but because they expected to see a stronger transition into a completely new chapter. Many royal watchers believed Harry and Meghan would eventually become known primarily for philanthropy, business ventures, media production, and advocacy work. Instead, critics argue that conversations about the couple still frequently return to palace disputes and family tensions. And according to some experts, that may be limiting their ability to evolve publicly, because every brand eventually needs growth. Every public figure needs reinvention, and every story needs a new chapter. But some fans are convinced Harry and Meghan remain trapped inside a narrative they cannot escape, or perhaps one they are unwilling to leave behind. That's when royal fans began asking even bigger questions. What exactly is Harry and Meghan's long-term strategy? Are they trying to become global humanitarian leaders, media entrepreneurs, celebrity activists, public speakers, entertainment producers? The answer seems increasingly unclear to some observers, and according to branding experts, uncertainty can become a problem, because audiences tend to connect most strongly with clear, consistent identities. When the message changes too often, confusion can replace enthusiasm, and confusion rarely helps public approval. But this is where the story takes another dramatic turn, because despite growing criticism, Harry and Meghan still possess one major advantage: attention, massive attention. Even their critics continue talking about them constantly. Every interview becomes news, every public appearance trends online, every business move creates headlines. Few public figures command that level of interest. In fact, some public relations professionals argue that the couple remains extraordinarily influential despite the backlash. From this perspective, controversy itself becomes part of the strategy. After all, relevance often drives opportunities, and Harry and Meghan remain highly relevant. Yet critics argue there is a downside, because constant controversy can eventually overshadow everything else. What happened next only intensified the debate. Several projects and partnerships received mixed reactions from the public. Some generated excitement, others faced criticism, and each new development seemed to trigger the same cycle. Supporters praised the couple, critics attacked them, social media erupted, headlines multiplied, then the process repeated itself all over again. For some observers, this pattern started feeling predictable, and according to royal commentators, predictability can be dangerous, especially when you're trying to maintain public enthusiasm, because audiences often crave surprises, they want growth, they want evolution, they want to see people move forward. But many critics believe Harry and Meghan's public narrative has remained stuck in conflict for too long, and this is where things became especially uncomfortable. Questions surrounding authenticity began emerging more frequently, not because everyone doubted the couple's experiences, rather because some viewers started questioning whether certain appearances felt overly managed or strategically calculated. In today's social media era, audiences often reward spontaneity. They respond positively to moments that feel natural and unscripted. Whenever messaging appears overly polished, skepticism can grow quickly, and some commentators believe Harry and Meghan may now be encountering that exact problem. Whether that criticism is fair or not remains heavily debated, but the perception itself matters, because public perception often shapes reality, especially in the world of celebrity branding. And there may be another factor contributing to the challenge: comparisons. Lots of comparisons. As Harry and Meghan continue building their life in California, Prince William and Kate Middleton have increasingly become associated with stability, continuity, and traditional royal duty. Every public appearance by William and Catherine inevitably sparks comparison online. Some fans prefer the modern path chosen by Harry and Meghan. Others favor the more traditional approach represented by William and Kate. The result is an endless public debate, and according to many royal experts, those comparisons rarely benefit either side. Yet they continue dominating conversations. But perhaps the most significant issue involves expectations. When Harry and Meghan first left royal life, expectations were enormous. Supporters envisioned groundbreaking projects, transformational influence, global leadership, major cultural impact. The pressure was immense, and some critics now argue those expectations may have been impossible to satisfy. Because once public anticipation reaches extraordinary levels, almost any outcome risks disappointing someone. That's why many observers believe Harry and Meghan face a unique challenge. Not only must they manage criticism, they must also manage expectations, and that may be even harder. Still, supporters strongly reject the idea that their strategy is failing. They point to the couple's continued visibility, business partnerships, charitable work, and global influence. They argue Harry and Meghan are judged far more harshly than most celebrities, and many fans believe the backlash itself proves how polarizing the couple remains. Which means one thing is absolutely certain: the debate is far from over. In fact, it may be entering an entirely new phase, because the biggest question now isn't whether Harry and Meghan can generate attention. They clearly can. The real question is whether they can transform that attention into lasting public trust and long-term influence. And according to many royal watchers, the answer could determine the future of their brand for years to come. For now, social media remains divided. Royal experts remain divided. Fans remain divided. And every new move by Harry and Meghan continues fueling one of the most fascinating public image debates in modern royal history. So what do you think? Is Harry and Meghan's PR strategy genuinely backfiring, or are they simply facing criticism because they are constantly in the spotlight? And after everything that's happened, can they still reshape public opinion and create a completely new chapter beyond royal controversy?